Hey guys, so the premise of this particular little episode in this channel is you could call it recruitment. I'm assuming though you're already interested in jumping into this material. It's just you're looking for entry points and what do I mean by this material? Apparently, if you're looking at the screen, you see that the common theme here seems to be Discordianism. Discordianism for Dummies is one of the book titles here. And I'm not putting myself across as a super authority here. I'm putting myself across as someone who does my homework or dives in this swimming pool. And I often end up over here in Church of the Subgenius, connected very closely to Pastafarian. So these are what you might call spoof religions, or you could call them a kind of a genre of science fiction. It's kind of safer actually to sort of poke fun at yourself and not take yourself too seriously when you dive into all these fun conspiracies, right? Because you are learning something. If you connect it up in what looks like kind of a crazy diagram like QAnon, the scary part about like QAnon is you actually do believe it, whereas in this, you're kind of being self aware that this is kind of like a parody of paranoia in a way, right? Like we make up our own conspiracies. It's like it's a work of art. It's an imaginative enterprise. And I'm not taking credit for all this stuff. Again, I come here to learn, not to teach as much. I haven't read all of Robert Anton Wilson's stuff, but I do sometimes point out that he did an encyclopedia of conspiracies, and one of my old websites got to be in that. So I always like advertise, where I appear, like OEIS, couple entries, stuff like that. Like I do brag, or you could call it self promote or whatever, but it's like part of the responsibility of an author, in my view, is to self promote. It's not hypocritical, it's what you're supposed to do. But I have my weaknesses and my downsides. There's a lot that's a downside. Like I have a kind of a dry Jupyter notebook based mathy Pythonic approach to the Bucky stuff, to synergetics. I'm scrolling through some of that right now on the screen. And I'm just going to say, this is an acquired taste. I can help you find, like, Gerald de Jong right now is probably the foremost tensegrity artist. And I don't know if you're following tensegrity, but that's an important branch of elastic interval geometry. You could look at it that way. You could. Tension compression, and then this whole meme complex, or memeplex as I call it. You want to gain fluency. Like if you want to hang out in this Bucky world that you're learning about through me, then what are the resources? And I'm saying one is, yeah, find um, a complex of conspiracies you feel good researching. You don't feel like you're wasting your time. You don't mind diving in. And I'm saying a safe and secure one is one that is self aware and people make fun of themselves and they actually have fun making up these conspiracies with their own, like, they're making fun of conspiracy theories by generating them. That's part of what the philosophy of Discordianism is, if you want to look it up. Study it, right? Learn your heritage. These are people having fun up till now. But I'm saying my way of introducing this material is much more dry. Like I'll come to this octet truss here and link it to sphere packing and crystallography and architecture. We look at Alexander Graham Bell, and then in my case here, we phase over into flextegrity, which is again right. I'm saying Gerald de Jong is big in tensegrity right now. Flextegrity is something a little bit different. And it's a way of getting those compression islands, those spheres in the CCP, to communicate with each other more laterally, more using an XYZ framework. So you see that here. The green stripes, the zigzags, those are springy, and those run in the XYZ mutually orthogonal directions. So you can think of like one of those science fiction pictures of like an infinite matrix. And this is like XYZ matrix. But there's also a very IVM flavor to it, right? It's both. And it's good to get clear on that. And playing with Flextegrity has been very instructive to everyone who's gotten to the privilege. It comes in boxes like this, and here's some kids assembling a Flextegrity matrix. So it's fun to do it this way, the way I do it, but I think it's too dry for a lot of people, and I just want to say there are places you can dive in, because what I'm saying is this particular set of philosophies or spoof philosophies, whatever, they've been friendly to Bucky Fuller. They carry him forward. Whereas a lot of quote unquote churches do not. They don't do that work. Here we go, Bucky Fuller. Okay, I haven't even read this yet. So, tag Bucky Fuller. Maybe we're right back where we started. Welcome to an interesting corner of the internet. Have fun. Again, if you find me in here, I'm probably just wandering around like you, gawking at the wonders. All right. Talk to you soon.